Well, hello everyone, and thank you guys for watching. Classic Bike Rider here, bringing you a new video. It's a Wednesday, middle of the week, September 25th. It's a little bit chilly out. It's gonna be nice and comfortable. I'm not gonna say warm because it's just gonna be above average today. I mean above normal, so it's gonna be comfortable. Right now it's a little bit cool. I feel like frozen chicken when they put them in the freezer. My legs are cold, but luckily the way the bike is designed, it blows the wind away from my legs. All I feel like in the corners and the little tips of my legs, they're cold, and on my feet a little bit, but that's all right. I can handle that. So last week I wore long pants a couple of days, and it was good in the morning. It felt good, but then in the afternoon I was sweating my you know what off. So I figure, this week is gonna be nice. I'll ride the bike as much as I can until I can ride it no more. No more. So in my other video that I put up, I was talking about YouTube, that they changing some rules again about verified person. See, when back in the day, I mentioned in the other video, but I guess you didn't see that one. Back in the day, when YouTube started, you could only upload 15 minutes or less of videos, and it couldn't be more than a certain amount in size. If you wanted to upload videos longer than 15 minutes, which with motorcycle riding most of them were, unless you chop them off and put like just a little more interesting stuff. But sometimes when you're talking, you just start talking and rambling around, and video turns out a little long. Like you have seen my videos. Sometimes I'll go start rambling and talking, and videos turns out to be a little longer. So in order for you to upload videos longer than 15 minutes, you will have to apply for a YouTube verification process. And back in those days, you submit the application, and they just get back to you probably within a day or two, telling you that you were approved. And back in those days, you could apply for the monetization on your videos. So fast forward a few years later, I think that was my first channel, the other channel that I have. When I went to do this channel, since I already had a Google phone number, I would have to verify myself with a text message, put my Google number in there, and they send a text message, and I had to key in they will send you like a verification code, and you key in that in the app, and you were verified that way. So fast forward till Friday, I think they announced it, or Saturday they announced it. They were gonna be cracking down on the verification process, and they were only gonna verify big people, I guess, big channels like CNN, those channels, the regular TV people. They were going to be verifying those, and most you and I, non-famous person, were not going to be verified. So the whole internet went up in arms because they were wondering what will happen to the ones that were already verified. Were they going to be unverified? Were they going to take away that verification process? So they put out a press release saying no, the people that were already verified, they stay verified. If you want to apply for monetization, you will have to have more than 100,000 subscribers, which not in my lifetime will I have more than 100,000 subscribers to apply for my videos for monetization. And it's funny, back in those days when you reach 100,000 subscribers, they send you a plaque, like kind of like a YouTube plaque saying congratulations, 100,000 subscribers. So once I reach that goal, I can monetize my videos, which I know I ain't never gonna do. But yeah, they put up a press release yesterday backing down, saying that no, all the channels that are already verified, they're gonna stay verified. They're gonna be cracking down on channels that promote hate speech and sexual and all that crap, which they've been doing, and channels that violate copyrights, and channels that upload movies, unless they're verified. And I know you can see crap because I can see crap. The sun is right there. So I'll be back in a little bit. Alright, so now you can see a little bit. I'm gonna have to pull over there and put my my glasses on because I couldn't see at all. So yesterday morning, me and my wife took off. You know, she always takes off in front of me, but by the time I got my lunch bag and stuff tied up in the bike and stuff, she already had gone up ahead. But I still see her. When I turn around in the cul-de-sac, I saw her going around the corner. Oh, look at that. Someone lost their cards, baseball cards. Ooh, hope they're not expensive. Collectibles. Anyway, when we come out of our street, we have to make a left, go down, and make another left to come out to go to my stepdaughter's house. And right, if you make a right, that's the railroad tracks right there. So every morning when we leave, the train is coming, so the gates are down and the road is closed. So we know that we good from the right hand side, so we have to worry about the left. So she comes, she looks, all right, she takes off, she goes to the left. Soon after, I go, and I see her when she puts the signal light to turn. I see this guy in a bicycle coming. He's in a big, good distance, but he started going fast. And of course, this car's coming this way, so she starts to make the left to avoid, waiting for the big line of cars. And the guy in the bicycle went. He saw her signal light. He saw that her car was moving. He didn't even stop. He went. And my wife, she drives so slow that sometimes she could be going in reverse. That's how slow she drives. So she started making the turn. The guy didn't stop. And when he saw her going, then he finally hit the brakes, and she hit him with the front corner of the car. She hit the front tire of the bicycle and knocked him down. She stopped right there. So when I make the turn, I asked him, why did he do that? Because I know that he did. He did it on purpose. He saw her coming. He didn't stop. He just kept going. He said, oh, I didn't know that she was going to go. I thought she was going to wait because there was a big line of cars. He was a Hispanic guy. And, I understand. My wife was undocumented before I married her. And I know, sometimes things happens in your country and you have to come out and try to make beef for to support your family. I understand that. So this guy stopped, I mean, he was saying, oh, I think I'm bleeding. I'm bleeding from my ears. And I was like, no, you're not. You're not bleeding from your ears. He thought that my wife was American, because my wife is a little white, pale, blonde hair. So he thought she was American. So when she said she barely touched him in Spanish, his face dropped. So I was like, well, you got two options here. I call the policeman, make a report, because I don't see you bleeding from anywhere. Bike's not damaged. There was nothing wrong with the bike. He just thought that he could make a big buck. He automatically he thought about lawsuit, get money from insurance, because he thought she was American. Once I mentioned policeman and report, he changed it to no, I'll be fine. So either way, I told him, yeah, here's my number. If you think you need to go to the doctor or anything, give me a call. Because you know, I don't want you to be hurt later on either. So he was, oh, it's okay, I'll take it, but I'm going to work anyway. So we were, I was going to work. My wife's still not at work because of her fractured foot. She's going back next week. So we sitting down at the table last night, and my phone rings, and I don't answer for anybody. I already mentioned that in a couple of phone calls and a couple of videos already, that I don't answer my phone for nobody unless it's my wife or someone in my family that I know the phone number of. So I let it go to voicemail, and then he sent me a message through WhatsApp, because once a person has your phone number, if your phone number is linked to WhatsApp, they can find you in WhatsApp. So he sent me a message on WhatsApp. I said, hello, in Spanish. So I told my wife, okay, I think that's the guy, give him a call. And I dialed his number. I told my wife to talk to him. Yeah, that he said, oh, I think I'm hurting, my chest is hurting, and I think I need to go to get some X-ray done. A friend of mine is gonna charge me $100 to take me. So I said, well, tell him that once I'm done eating, because I'm not gonna drop my food to go right now. Once I'm done eating, I'll go to the bank, take $100 out and give it to him. So I did. When I was done eating, I told my wife, gave him a call, tell him that I'm on my way. My wife came with me. He said, no, the friend of his told him, because he was in pain, they should have a injection or something put on. And I said, well, listen, this is the $100. Do whatever you had to do. But if you got any pains anywhere, and let me rate it at this, I'm not going to give you any more money. I'm going to go to the police, file the report, and then let the insurance take care of it. Oh, no, I'll be fine. So come on. Now, what an idiot. You seen that? What a fucking idiot. He goes in the turning lane to go straight, blows everybody off in the line. Anyway, back to the point. So yeah, be very careful. I told my wife, you be very careful. Bicycles have the right of way, no matter what, no matter where. You lucky, because I saw what happened. He saw you turning, He didn't stop. If you go in a bicycle and a car is moving already, like my wife was making the left turn, she had the right of way. He had to stop. He didn't stop. And of course, my wife clipped his front wheel with the car at like 5 miles per hour, and he fell. There was no damage to the bike. There was no damage to. I mean, he didn't even have a scrape on him. He just wanted a payday. If my wife would have been by herself, well, she would have been by herself. She would have called the police. That would have been in. Anyway, I got you guys back up in a little bit. So back on the subject of the guy jumping in front of my wife to try to get a payday. There's a bunch of videos on YouTube, and you can look for a dash camera video persons on Europe and Germany. They implemented the same law as out here. If you hit someone in the back, you automatically at fault. So I guess in the early stages of that law being enacted, there was so many accidents and insurance reports of people getting hit in the back that the insurance company decided, if you don't have a video proving that you're not at fault, basically you're at fault. So that's why in Europe and Germany everybody uses a dash cam, because it got so bad over there with people hitting people in the back. I mean, you think that Long Island and New York has bad drivers? You should go see those videos, man. I saw at this point, one video, I saw this couple of kids in a scooter, motorcycle. They were stopped in the middle of the road, and the lady honking her horn at them, and they pushed the bike really fast backwards to hit her car, and they fall on the ground and pretend that they got hit. She gets out. Tell them, what are you doing? It's, oh lady, you hit me. They say, I did not hit you. See that? I got a camera. I got you in video. And they get up and they go really quick. So basically that's what we need here in the States. Insurance company should give incentives to people, to drivers, incentivize them to put a dash camera in the car, just to make it even safer for them, because there are people like that out here. If I didn't see it with my eyes, I would not believe it, but I saw it with my own eyes. I saw it with my only two eyes what that asshole did. And get that, this morning when we left, there he comes riding by, he's waving. Idiot. Alright, I got you guys back up in a little bit. So the other day I was messing with Final Cut Pro. I wanted to see how good it'll do in processing 4K video and whatnot. So my last video I did in 4K. Ooh, he blew the stop sign. Oh, I thought he was gonna blow the stop sign. So on Windows I was using this program called Cyberlink PowerDirector. I started with PowerDirector 15. Then I went to 16, upgraded to 16, and just before I moved to my Hackintosh, I subscribed to their newest, the online version. You subscribe for I think $45 a year, I think, and you get use everything in their newest, software. So I was using PowerDirector 17. So one great thing about PowerDirector is that once you create your video and you hit render, it analyzes the video. This is done really, really quick. It analyzes the video and it only transcode the parts of the video that needed transcoding. So for example, my intros, if I didn't use any intro or outro, well, I always use outro. If I didn't use any intros, it would only render the outro to match the quality that I chose for the movie to be rendered in. And a couple of my intros and outros are already 1080p. So if I chose to render the video in 4K, it would just upgrade those videos to 4K, and what it does, the 4K video, it already was high quality, so I didn't have to do nothing with those videos. So it will basically take literally like 10-15 seconds to render a full video. It will take 10 to 15 seconds to render a video. Like I usually put it on and I can see the progress bar going choop, 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 done. And that was great. So I could do like 3 or 4 hours of videos, which I never did, and they'll be done in like seconds. So I try to find out, see if Final Cut Pro, what it does something similar, but it takes longer to render the video. So it takes about 5 minutes to render 30-minute video, which is still fast than what it used to be. I remember I used to complain about iMovie a few years ago when I was doing my videos. iMovie to take like 8-7 hours to render a 10-minute video, but it's because my computer was a lot older. It was only a 2-core. This one is 4 cores and had 16 gigs of memory. So it's a faster processor. It's only a newer system. But yeah, Final Cut. I did my Monday video. I did it, and it only took like 10 minutes to render, and I uploaded to YouTube right away. My second video, I did it yesterday. The 4K one took about 15 minutes to render, and then about 10 more minutes to upload to YouTube. That one is not live yet, because I wait until YouTube processes and it has the full resolution before I can set it live. Now what I've been doing, I've been trying that Premiere thing on YouTube. It's really cool. So yeah, bad thing is the Cyberlink PowerDirector does not have a Mac version. I wish they could. I wish they would. So Windows 10, well, Windows 7 is going out of what do they call? They're not gonna out of support on January 14, 2020. So that means they're not going to support any more Windows 7. So if you have a Windows 7 system, you better off upgrading to Windows 10. But if I know that some older systems, they only go to certain points of Windows 10. So if you might go up to like Windows 10, like 2016 version. After that, you're not gonna be able to get any more updates. So they said this morning in the news that Microsoft put out a press release that they urge people to install an out of cycle. See, Microsoft puts out security patches every second Tuesday of the month, and if they find that there's a flaw in the system, they do what is called zero-day vulnerability. They put an out of cycle patch. I'm sure Leo Laporte and Mary Jo Foley and Paul Thurrott will be talking about it in this week's Windows Weekly, because I just saw it in News 12 this morning. Microsoft put out a press release that they urge people to patch Windows 10 and Internet Explorer. There's a flaw in their antivirus software, Microsoft malicious software removal tool. There's a flaw in it. They patched. There's a Windows Explorer. People had to download it and apply manually. But nobody, I mean, at least I never use Windows Explorer. Every time I used to build the system, I used to get the only time I used Internet Explorer was to download. Back then was Firefox, and at some point Firefox got so bad that I just started using Chrome. That's Google Chrome, and that's what I've been using ever since. So, and I still install Firefox in a lot of my systems, but I use it like secondary. Even Microsoft now is working on a Internet Explorer version based on Chromium, which is the free open source software, free open source browser. So the new Microsoft Edge is going to be based in Chromium. I think they're going to be putting it out in the next patch of Windows coming out next month or this month, 9th. Should be coming out. If it didn't already come out. But yes, if you have Windows 10, patch it, run those updates. I used to tell people when I was working on computers a lot, that they need to leave. See, most people are used to turning the computer off, just using it what they were using and then turning it off. You don't save no electricity that way. It uses more electricity turning it on and turning it off than leaving it back on completely. So I used to tell people, you know what, Microsoft updates Windows every second Tuesday of the month. So leave like every month. If you know that it's gonna be like first week of the month, leave the computer on 24/7. Don't matter, because at some point the computer gonna go to sleep if you set it that way. But if when there's updates, it will download those updates, and next time you log into the computer, it applies them. So if you are one of those persons that have a laptop or something and you constantly have it turned off, just turn it on, leave it running for a couple of times, for a couple of nights, hooked up to the internet, set it up so it won't go to sleep, so it can get all those updates. So you'll be covered, because you don't want to be hacked. Anyway, I'm almost at this. Well, I'm already in East Hampton. I'm almost at the parking lot. My boss's birthday was yesterday. Turned 61, so I'll get him I got him a little whiskey bottle. It's cool. I was gonna give me one of those myself. Cool whiskey bottle. I never drank whiskey. I don't even know what it tastes like. I know I'm a noob. But I never used to drink until I divorced my first wife. She drives anybody to drink. Oh my goodness. But no, after I met my girlfriend, the one that I was with for 5 years before I married my wife, she was a bartender, so she used to make all these nice fancy drinks. So that's how I learned to drink hard stuff. And even though I have like a bottle of wine that someone gave me back in Christmas, and I have a friend of this lady that we cleaned the pool. She went to Jamaica. She got me this bottle of kind of like Bailey's. It's like a cream liqueur coffee. She got me a bottle of that, and I haven't tried it yet. I'll probably try it on this weekend. Ooh yeah, it's colder out here, for sure, for sure. So I made this video. I put the camera settings back to 1080, I think 60. My last video that like I said, I was doing some testing, see how Final Cut Pro will handle a 4K video, and it actually handled it pretty well. But since I'm using the internal video card, I'm gonna get me a video card that is supported by OS X, so it can utilize the GPU to render videos. Yep. I can't see. I can't. Well, it's a spider web. I'm sure you guys can't see nothing, but I do see it from the tree down to the ground. So I'm sure we're gonna do some closings today and some cleanings. dude. So I've been noticing the idiot police or traffic, whatever they call those rent-a-cop that they have marking tires. He puts a giant mark that covers like half of my bike tires. He's still there. 2 marks. He's pulling long straight, almost the length of the tire on my bike yesterday. So what a fucking idiot. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave me a comment, any suggestion you can post it down below. This is Classic Bike Rider signing off. See ya.